Alright, y'all. Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy Mugetsu. We back for another One Piece installment. I did the One Piece all openings reaction, and I also right now I'm doing what the video you're about to see right now is what makes One Piece so appealing. My boy Jason Parker hit me up with this one, so shout out to you. And let's get to it, man. Let's not waste your time.
I'm generally known for four things: my long, in-depth videos, my love of all things shonen, my utterly flawless spelling, and my absolute perfect pronunciation of the Japanese language. And the problem with those former two is that at some points it means that I need to do a video on the series One Piece. Which is fine, I like One Piece quite a lot, in fact. But the issue comes from how insanely long the series is, currently residing at its 830th chapter, and the staggering breadth of its world.
You know how long it'll take the
One
average
Piece
person to
Wiki,
get
has currently
into One Piece?
866 named characters. I know because I counted, and it took a long time.
Wow.
So how does one talk about such a massive series like One Piece? Well, the answer that I've come to, at least, is the same way that one devours a whale. And that is piece by piece. One Piece.
That pun was trash.
And so, what we're going to do here today is that rather than go straight into a full-blown why you should watch/read, which, don't worry, we will get to, is to first put out a shorter video covering what I consider some of the broader structural aspects of One Piece, which will then free us up and allow us to take a much deeper dive into the characters and themes later on. So with this in mind, my friends, please sit back, relax, and consider this an entree
Got my
with the
Capriccio
main
right
course
here.
still to come. And let's discuss the appeal of One Piece. Where to start? I first encountered One Piece in 2006 on the UK television version
That's
of
about
Toonami,
around the time
and
where I
unbeknownst
did.
to me at the time, what I was watching was the infamous 4Kids dub, which would become well known over time for its questionable translation and excessive amounts of censorship. And even despite these factors,
I remember
I
that.
really came to enjoy the adventures of Nami, Zoro, and of course Luffy. The series had a unique playfulness to it that made it stand out from other more stoic series I'd seen up until this point, like Bleach and Dragon Ball Z. And even in the show's more dramatic
I think
moments,
I was watching
there was always a
Rurouni
tremendous
Kenshin
amount
at the
of
time.
fun to be had. Of course, as I watched the imaginative pirate adventure on my parents' old TV, what I was completely unaware of was what a world-shattering phenomenon I was actually dealing with. That revelation would only strike me several
I didn't think One Piece would last as long.
On a trip to Japan, it became obvious what a massive deal One Piece actually was. Around every corner in every shop seemed to lie another new piece of Straw Hat Pirate merchandise. Luffy and his ragtag crew were everywhere on everything. One Piece branded bread, One Piece bath salts, even entire One Piece branded shops. It was incredible to see how what I thought was a simple show about pirates utterly dominate the mass consciousness of a single country. The closest thing I could liken it to was the Simpsons mania of early 90s America. This was, of course, before
I'm glad I wasn't a part of that,
like
and I'm an 80s baby.
And weekly shonen rankings. And if I had, I would have known things like the fact that One Piece has sold over 400 million units worldwide.
But you know, I'm not surprised by that actually.
Recently beating out Spider-Man for the number 3 spot, leaving only Batman and Superman ahead of it. And even then, in 2016, Batman sold 1,859,956 units, and Superman sold 828,069 units. And you could even roughly double the sales of both series by taking into account all their offshoot titles. And it still wouldn't even come close to the 12 million in sales that One Piece sold that same year. And where things really start to get crazy is that if these trends were to continue and One Piece were to run for another decade, it would nearly certainly surpass Batman in lifetime global sales. And if it were to run for another 2 decades, which for Oda's sake I hope doesn't happen, it would surpass even Superman, becoming the biggest selling comic in existence. Now, I'm not saying I think this will happen, but it's a hell of a thing to consider. And so, how has a series about a pirate boy made of rubber managed to capture the hearts and minds of so many people worldwide? Well, to put it simply, the
Please
primary
tell.
appeal of One Piece is the simple premise of adventure. And yes, that is also the core concept of countless other
There's some
shonen
pretty good
series,
covers though, man.
but
Look at
nothing
that.
really captures the same sense of scale and exploration as the world of pirates. Our hero on this voyage is the energetic young pirate, Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy is a simple character with a simple goal, to find the mysterious treasure only known as One Piece, and in doing so, become king of the pirates. This was Luffy's primary motivator from chapter 1 and remains so in chapter 834. And this keeps Luffy's journey along the one distinct path, which is a concept surprisingly unique to One Piece. In most other shonen series, our heroes will go on several different large adventures throughout the course of its run, and these are what make up the arcs. But in One Piece's case, it's always the same journey along the same path, to the point that you can actually chart Luffy's route out on a physical map. And the sub-arcs come from the various different islands or landmasses the crew encounters along the way. This works particularly well as it makes the core story of One Piece very easy to understand, while also allowing for a
I didn't know
massive
it was
amount
so
of
linear
variety
like
in the
that.
series sub-arcs. Some can be very simple, like the Barty arc, in which the Straw Hats visit a famous sailing restaurant in order to recruit a chef. Or very complicated like the Dressrosa arc, in which the crew must untangle a web of political intrigue and face down a vicious and tyrannical false king. And because of how the arcs are structured, with literal massive quantities of ocean between them, there's no real limit to the kind of stories One Piece can tell.
Right.
They start off fairly villain of the week-esque, with most enemies being rival pirate captains, but as we move on, we see the Straw Hats embroiled in government conspiracies, abducted by massive haunted ghost ships, springing jailbreaks, and even being at the center of large-scale global conflicts. And throughout the entire adventure, there's this real genuine sense of time and progress. When Luffy sets out on his journey from Fuchsia Village, he has little more to his name than a wooden dinghy and his straw hat. And now, 20 years later, he's an infamous pirate warlord, the world-famous captain of one of the most renowned pirate crews in all of existence.
I ain't gonna lie, that
the
fit
Straw
is
Hat
so
Pirates,
cold though.
of whom include a master samurai, a technologically advanced pantsless cyborg, and even an undead violinist with a awful, amazing sense of humor. One of the core joys of One Piece is watching Luffy slowly ascend in status
What was them
and
pair
build his
legs?
crew as each new battle propels him closer to his dream while also increasing his notoriety worldwide. It's not ever a story you could accuse of moving quickly, but it is always
I am
moving.
curious about
And I
how
think it's only
Luffy
when you look
evolved
back
all of
that you
his
see
moves
how
though.
far Luffy and his crew have actually come. Of course, the success of an adventure series is largely dependent on the world the adventure takes place in, and this is another area where the series shines. One Piece's world, to put it simply, is the largest, most intricately detailed and well thought out of any of the long-running shonen series, which may not be obvious from the offbeat cartoonish designs of Oda's artwork, but make no mistake,
I
this
think
is
that's
a
what
world
turned
of
me off though.
layers
It's
with
the
its own government,
cartoony.
economy,
You know, it
cultural
didn't look like
relations with
anime the
many,
way I was
many
watching
different
it.
factions,
You know,
all of
jumping
whom
from
have their own
Rurouni
philosophies
Kenshin
and
to
motivations.
Samurai
While
Champloo
Luffy
and
and his
stuff
crew
like
are
that.
often
That's
at the
what
center, or at
it
least
turned me off
involved
because it
in
wasn't
large-scale global
what I was
incidents,
used to.
the world also progresses entirely separate to them. Major plot incidents completely separate from the Straw Hats are common, and when they do occur, they reverberate throughout the world on such a scale that it drastically affects the lives of every character in it, such as Porticus D. Ace's showdown with Blackbeard that resulted in the Great Summit War. It always feels like there's a larger picture in One Piece, and depending on the global political climate of the time, Luffy and the Straw Hats' allies and enemies can switch from arc to arc, giving the world this intriguing, ever-changing dynamic. And so One Piece's world succeeds on a grand scale, but what may be even more impressive is the characters
So
that
it's
Oda has built it.
so the premise of One Piece almost sounds like an MMO with infinite patch updates.
A portrait of life at its cruelest and most tragic.
That's
And
what it
this
feels like.
information
It's
is often
very
delivered
like
through
he
lengthy
explained. It's
flashback
very
stories
linear,
in which we're taken through the key moments of a character's life. And while a
and like just like I just said, like it's linear, just like a patch update for an MMO. Nothing's changing. It's just different arcs, different situations. Kind of reminds me like of Final Fantasy and like WoW and stuff.
badly used flashback can utterly kill the momentum of a series, Oda uses them in such a way to give his characters weight, grounding, and motivation that otherwise just wouldn't be possible. Like, seriously, you see this dumb-looking idiot in a diaper? This is Senor Pink, and this guy has a backstory that is absolutely heartbreaking, and upon hearing it, it completely changes everything about how you see him. Moving swiftly along, actually no, wait, no. I know some of you out there don't believe me, so we're gonna prove it. Let's do this. Senor Pink started out his adult life as a member of the brutal Don Quixote crime family, where his days were frequently filled with criminal activity and brutal violence. Until one day, in the pouring rain, he met a woman who he immediately fell in love with. They got married, had a child, and for a while at least, everything was perfect. Except that Pink was still involved in the Don Quixote family, which he hid from his wife for fear that she might leave him. One day he's called away on a secret mission and disappears for an entire week, and upon returning, discovers that the day he left, his precious son had passed away, and now his wife, furious and heartbroken, demands an explanation, and he tells her everything, at which point she demands he stay away from her, rushes from the home in the pouring rain, before getting into an accident that leaves her in a vegetative state.
Wow.
Pink, devastated by the events, visits her every day in hospital, until one day, on a whim, puts on a bonnet reminiscent of their son in an attempt to entertain her, and miraculously, she cracks a small, delicate smile. And so, for the sake of seeing his wife smile, he continues to dress more and more elaborately, even enduring the ridicule of everyone around him. Years later, his wife too has passed, but he still dresses this way out of remembrance for her and of his beloved son.
Oh my God,
And so,
I'm starting to
one
feel
of the
that.
silliest looking characters in One Piece actually has legitimate character motivation.
I don't know if it's the wine or just
justifying this, he becomes
like
an
I'm actually feeling
grounded,
that.
tangible character. What really gets me here is that this is one tiny inconsequential character in One Piece's world, and yet still Oda manages to imbue him with a sense of depth and grounding many writers fail to give even their main protagonists. And
Right,
that's to say
Dragon Ball
nothing of
Z.
the amazing job Oda's done in establishing the main major heroes and villains of One Piece's story. Having so many characters with such fleshed out histories and motivation is the primary factor that makes One Piece's
If you
world
did
feel
it
so
right,
vivid and alive. And
hold
makes
on one
each
second. If you did it right, you could create a One Piece MMO that could probably be just as good as Final Fantasy World of Warcraft if you keep the lore the same, patch updates, and related to the arcs. You could possibly make a One Piece MMO that will far trump any MMO that's out right now. And actually, I would play that. You know what I'm saying? Character creation, be very flexible, get some ethnic hair, Japan. I think I think that would work, man. One Piece as a video game, as a standalone video game RPG, it could work. But as an MMO, I think it'll make a lot of money. I think it'll make a lot of money. But
individual character feel like a true story in their own right. The last thing I'd like to talk about with One Piece is also one of its least tangible elements, and that is the creativity and imagination that's gone into it. There's always a sense that when reading One Piece, Oda himself is enjoying the world and characters more than anyone. It can be seen in the new and creative ways Luffy uses his at first seemingly limited power. It can be seen in the bizarre visual design of many of the world's inhabitants and the camaraderie that takes place between the Straw Hats, and even in the ever-evolving unique structure of Oda's story arcs. He always seems like an author not striving to hit a deadline, but an artist creating a world and story distinctly of his own vision. This is something we're going to dig a lot deeper into in a future video, but for now, just trust me, simply no one writes a story like Ichiro Oda. So with all that in mind, where should you start? Well, the obvious answer is page 1, chapter 1. The manga is for the most part a fantastic read, but I understand people's reluctance to get into it given its insane length. And the anime
yeah,
comes with many of its own issues too, such as a weak production run and masses of filler. But if you're curious to know if One Piece really is for you or not, or even if you just want to dip your toe in, allow me to present a different option, and that is the fantastic One Piece Movie 6, Baron Amatsuri and the Secret Islands. Directed by
okay.
Mamoru Hosoda of the Digimon movie The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars, the movie encapsulates
Wow, that looks
in a
like a really good
digestible
movie.
90 minutes everything that makes One Piece as a series so much fun, on top of having some absolutely gorgeous animation and character designs, and one of the darkest and hardest right turns I've seen in any film for a while. It requires basically no prior knowledge of One Piece or its world to enjoy, and I think even if you have zero interest in One Piece, seeing one of
I
Japan's
think
most
that's what
talented
all
directors put his
movies,
own
all
unique spin on the
anime-based
world of
movies should do.
pirates is absolutely worth checking out. Guys, that's going to do it for my intro into One Piece, and there is still a ton more we need to talk about. the characters, their themes, Oda's unique visual aesthetic, and what cursed fruit he ate in order to actually be able to constantly produce a manga of such quality. And we shall in a full video why you should watch
He
slash
said
read
Oda
One
made a
Piece
cursed
continue later
fruit.
this year. But I hope this video at the
Okay,
very
I enjoy drinking a little bit to that. I'm a little tipsy right now, so bear with me. Um, that was a really good. That was really good. I really enjoyed hearing the back lore. I'm sort of like a historian when it comes to learning at the what it was at the beginning and the purpose of and what makes it great. That's the kind of thing that makes me get into an anime and stuff like that. So I'm willing to give One Piece a chance. Reacting to it, man. That reacting to One Piece on this channel will probably turn this channel from a gaming channel to an anime channel. Or it could just be standalone thing that I do. Um, and one other thing, like if I do reactions, I try to make um, the editing as minimal as possible. So I have to come up with a way to not get it, you know, flagged for copyright and stuff. So, but yeah, man, I enjoyed that, man. Shout out to Jason Parker for sending me that. Currently, right now, as we speak, if it's not posted already, I am re-uploading for you guys, and I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, man. One Piece fans, man, let me know, man. Let me know what you think. Any other things that you guys could tell me, spoiler free, that can help me get into the. But right now, I mean, the way I see One Piece right now, it's like a huge MMO, um, full of character deaths, different side quests. That's what that video did for me. So I'm checking out another video right after this. And I see you guys later, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you're here to the end, man. Subscribe if you want to see more gaming, anime reactions, and gaming trailers, man. So make sure you hit us up on the Discord too. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little bit tipsy, but man, I see y'all later, man. Y'all know the slogan, man. Win, lose, we stay grinding, man. Peace out.